Imagine this. You've packed your entire life into a suitcase, leaving everything you know behind. Your heart pounds with uncertainty, but you push forward, fueled by the hope of safety, a better life. And then you arrive only to be told no, you're not welcome here. The reality of exclusion. This isn't just a story. It's happening right now across states where immigrants are being systematically excluded. Policies, cultural attitudes, and legal loopholes are closing doors for those who need refuge the most. Did you know that in some states, immigrants can be denied basic rights, like renting a home or obtaining work permits? This isn't just about politics or paperwork. It's about human lives, shattered dreams, and the deep-rooted fear that maybe there's no place for me. Let's talk about this, because if we don't, who will? The fear of not belonging. A silent crisis. What happens when you're told you don't belong? You don't just lose a place, you lose a future, an identity. Many immigrants feel this fear every single day. They wake up in uncertainty, constantly looking over their shoulder, wondering if the state they live in will one day tell them, "You don't belong here." The fear for some goes beyond social exclusion. It's about survival. In states that aggressively push anti-immigrant policies, people live in constant fear of deportation. Imagine going to sleep every night, not knowing if you'll be torn away from your family by the morning. Which states are we talking about? Some US states have adopted immigration laws that are so harsh, they effectively make it impossible for many immigrants to live normal lives. These laws target not just illegal immigration, but also legal immigrants in subtle ways, denying them opportunities, services, and even safety. States like South Carolina and Alabama have passed aggressive laws making it difficult for immigrants to access healthcare, get jobs, or enroll in education. But it's not just the laws, it's the environment. These laws create an environment of fear, suspicion, and sometimes even hatred. Children, innocent, vulnerable, being left with the crushing reality that they may never see their parents again. What future are we offering these kids? One filled with walls, both physical and metaphorical? A glimmer of hope, people fighting back, but here's the thing. While the fight is tough, it's not over. There are people, organizations, and even some states fighting back against these draconian policies. There are citizens who refuse to let fear and hatred dominate the conversation. They understand that we're talking about human lives, about dignity. Groups are rallying to provide sanctuary, to push for changes in legislation, and to remind us all that immigrants are not the enemy. They're our neighbors, our co-workers, our friends. It's time to stand up, speak out, and stand in solidarity with those who are being denied their rightful place in our communities. Together, we can create a more inclusive and compassionate society where everyone is welcome. Imagine a future where we allow these harmful policies to spread unchecked. A future where entire states become exclusion zones for immigrants. What would happen then? It's a simple answer. We would lose a part of ourselves. The values that supposedly define our country, freedom, equality, and the pursuit of happiness, would slowly fade away. Think about it. When we start closing doors on the world's most vulnerable, when we turn away those seeking a better life, those doors start closing on all of us. The walls that we build to keep others out will also keep us trapped within, and in the end, nobody wins. Sadly, this is the reality for many people living in America today. For them, certain states have become hostile territories, unwelcoming and unfriendly. But it doesn't have to be this way. We have the power to change this narrative. We can fight for justice and inclusion, ensuring that no one has to hear the painful words, "You're not welcome here." It all starts with awareness. We need to open our eyes to the plight of immigrants, to understand their struggles and the contributions they can make to our society. Empathy is key. We must put ourselves in their shoes, feel their pain, and recognize their humanity. But awareness and empathy alone are not enough. We need action. Time is running out, and lives are on the line. It's up to each and every one of us to stand up and fight for a better future. We must raise our voices, support organizations that advocate for immigrant rights, and vote for leaders who champion inclusion and equality. The fate of the future is in our hands. It may seem like a heavy burden, but it's a burden we must bear. We cannot stand idly by and allow these harmful policies to continue unchecked. Together, we can create a future where everyone is welcomed and embraced, regardless of their background or where they come from. So, what are you going to do about it? The choice is yours. Let's seize this opportunity to make a difference, to shape a future where the bigger picture is one of compassion, unity, and acceptance. The time for action is now. Will you join us?